So I started out by creating a document, and in that document what I put was several pieces of the French and American Declarations of Independence, well, the French Declarations of Man and the American Declaration of Independence, but I also started off with some pieces of Hobbes' Leviathan, Rousseau's Social Contract, and Locke's Of Civil Government. I took little excerpts so that the students would then be able to read through those and work in groups to figure out what they mean. I then shared that document, if you go up to invite people here, shared that document with all my students.
Okay.
So right now we are reading a series of documents. Me and Mont here are working on document 2, the right of the strongest, and it's pretty much we're kind of annotating it. We're reading through it and placing footnotes in places that are needed.
So how they did it was as follows. They went to Google Docs. They went to their email, then went to Google Docs, and they opened up their Google Docs. And what you'll see is when they open Google Docs, what ends up being displayed is obviously all the documents that they're working on. This was period F, and what I did is I shared the document with them. American French Revolutions, period F. They click on their document, and when they click on it, they come to something that looks like this. They've all got editing power for it, and now what they can do is they'll read through, for example, this first piece here. And the moment that they see something that they find interesting, for example, the Stamp Act, the Tea Act, and Boston Massacre are 3 examples of the problems encountered by the colonists and their struggle against the British government. At the end of that, I want to make a note. So I go and I highlight, or I just put my cursor at the end of that piece there. I go to Insert. I click on Insert, and I go to Comment. Insert Comment, and up on the right-hand side of the document over here comes up a comment bar. And now what I can write here is, for example, something about Tea Act, Stamp Act, human rights. I can make a note to myself, and there's an annotation there. So what they then did is they annotated all these spots here, and then shared those documents, which they were automatically shared with their classmates.
Right, but what does it mean when those who have no such copy appear online? Where is it? The third from the bottom line. On Earth. Like those who go against the law.
With this, so here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like to close your computers now so we can have a discussion on this. Everybody should have this information now, so you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything like that. So, so you can just shut your computers. We can talk about this. So when you think about, there's another R word I'm thinking about when I think about human rights. Not right, but another word that begins with an R that is essential for human rights. Respect, good. That to have human rights means more than just you can have anything you want. It's okay, you can have everything you want, but you don't because you respect the other people's rights, which are set out like life, liberty, property, things like that. Does that make sense? And this is the philosophy on which this is all built. This is the philosophy on which this entire idea of human rights is built. So in the end, the series of documents looks like this. You've got the document in the middle here, and on either side you've got annotations made by the students. The students then can access this, all the students in the class can access this, so that when they come back to write their final essays on this topic, they can now look at what their classmates have said and what they have said previously and have all these annotations. This allowed us to avoid having to necessarily take specific notes during class so that they could actually focus on the discussion. And it also avoided them having their laptops open during the middle of a class discussion so that they were not working on necessarily what they might have been supposed to be working on. So as you guys can see, this is just one way in which Google Docs can be used collaboratively in class to allow students to not only work on writing, but also actually collaborate with one another and do some pretty significant document analysis.